Alrighty. Hopefully this gets recorded. I think I'll leave them on, and I can see what I'm recording. Happy Sunday, Bumble Jeepers. So I don't know what happened with the last video. I swear I recorded more than what was there. But I think maybe what happened was when I picked the camera up to finish out that video, I forgot to hit the pause record button. And so the last few minutes did not get recorded. So you guys didn't get to see the finished product. So that's what we're going to do today. This is going to be a relatively short video. I'm going to show you the finished product. So here we go. This is the back end. All reassembled, tinted glass in place. Everything put back in. All the trim back in. Not permanent, but it's back in. I still have to mount like the spare tire carrier. And I still have to, hopefully, the young lady that I bought this Jeep from 2 years ago still has the spare for it. If not, you know, that's my loss. You snooze, you lose. So I did put this back in, cleaned this up, put this in over top of this piece, which is, so that holds everything in. I found some screws that work in this that are brand new. So they're all nice and shiny. Not sure I like that, but it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to get knocked loose. It's not going to get knocked loose. This is a highly susceptible piece to damage. I don't know, I've seen quite a few videos, Project A&H and a couple of the other guys mentioned that how on the XJs and even the ZJs, this piece, because of the way things go in and out of here, ends up getting broke. So like whenever they go to salvage yards for parts runs, if they find one that's intact, they grab it. Got the lift gate cover back on, got the third brake light back in, got all the wires run, all the trim put back in. These had some yellow overspray on from when I painted the roof, cleaned them all up, all nice and shiny and new. When I put the lift gate back in, these came out really, really hard. So cleaned them all up, wire wheeled the heads, wire wheeled the threads, greased the threads when I put it back together. I still haven't decided if I'm going to repaint this lift gate. If I do, I don't know if I'll do the inside. Definitely do the outside. Now the thing I'm wrestling with as far as repainting the stuff that's not the same yellow as the rest of it. This is the passenger side, of course. They claim when you paint over top of this Rust-Oleum, and this is rattle can here. The lift gate is rattle can. This fender was done originally. I was going to rattle can the whole thing and changed my mind. So this fender's rattle canned. The whole cowl is rattle canned. So I think what I might do when I do this, I don't know. I think probably the first piece I'm going to try and respray is the center cowl there. And if that goes okay without lifting, and again, I don't know, I'm conflicted whether it's going to need to be primered or whether this yellow will cover over top of this yellow without, you know, going wonky. This piece needs repainted, although realistically these bezels are so cheap, I'm almost tempted just to buy another one and paint it the right color from the get-go. But you know, if that doesn't wrinkle or lift when I respray it with this yellow, then I will probably respray everything else. Do this fender, the cowl, this bezel, unless I get a different one, and the lift gate, and then the whole thing will match. Now, the other thing that I've decided to do, I was originally planning on pulling all 4 doors at the same time, disassembling them, completely disassembling, pulling everything out, all the handles, the latches, the glass, the weather stripping, the whole 9 yards. So I basically get the same effect as I got right here. If you lift this gasket, this is all yellow underneath here, which is why I pulled the glass out. And I'm glad I did. I'm happy with the overall results. That was definitely the way to go on this. But as far as the doors, I think I'm going to do them one at a time. I mean, I'm buying my paint in quarts. It's a little over $8 a quart. And the reason I've decided, I think I'm going to go with doing just one door at a time is I don't have to tie this thing up for 3 or 4 days at a time. I can do one shell, one door, pull it off, and spray it, get the primer on it, and the nice thing about the doors is once they are completely disassembled, I can actually, rather than put them on a horse and paint the inside, let the inside dry, then paint the outside, and which would involve 2 days, I can hang these up by the track here once all the weather stripping and the glass is out. I can actually hang these up in the spray booth and do the whole door in one shot. Do the primer and do the color in one shot. And the weather is getting warmer. We had a couple of cold days, and which was a little uncomfortable. Let me finish my train of thought here. Anyhow, the reason I think it would be a good idea to do one door at a time is with the door off, I can get 90% of this whole jam done. And then when I pull the front door off to paint the front door, this side, the fender will probably come off because there's some stuff I need to do on this lower hinge. When this door is closed, there's a big gap. So, and I may have mentioned that in previous videos for those of you who have been following me for a while. So the easiest way to fix this is once the door is off, I can take and beat on this hinge and roll it back in. And then this door will close properly. The fender will align. Right now the fender, I had to jimmy this fender around to get this so it's all level, and the door sticks out here. This fender is still not, lining up. You can see it's, still out. So when I beat that lower hinge in, that'll close up the gap on the weather seal. That'll probably be the last door I do. But by doing the doors one at a time, then I can get a lot of the jam done with just one door open or off and this door open. I can get in here and do all of this, and then I think I'll do the same thing that when I did the roof. See how I peeled this back and this is all painted underneath the glass weather stripping. I can do the same thing on the sides and get that paint to wrap around so everything looks like it was painted. Not quite as good as having the windshield out when you paint it, but I don't want to take it out to paint it. And this door, I am going to be looking for the new closer and this piece. Now I had pulled this piece off, pulled this pin out, welded the hole shut, re-drilled the holes to the right size for this pin, and it still makes that god-awful noise when you're opening it and closing it, where these doors don't. I actually thought about robbing one of these doors and pulling the pins and the latches out, this mechanism out of one of the other 3 doors Because most of the 99% of the time I'm in this thing by myself. So if I use one of the back doors parts for that door, then that door will be quiet and it'll only make noise. But I'm going to see if I can find some stuff at the junkyard. That closer on that one was actually broke when I bought it, and the door would overswing open and just so. But it's, I don't know, I've tried spraying it with WD-40, with PB Blaster, with the white lithium grease in the aerosol cans, and still nothing quiets it down. So this door actually didn't work from the outside when I bought this Jeep, so I ended up replacing this latch and the outer handle, and now, I mean, that just closes so nice. And there's no reason why these doors wouldn't. I mean, you know, 200 and almost 8,000 miles now, but how often did the back doors get used? The young woman I bought this thing off of had 3 kids, so, you know, the back doors and that got used while she had it, but she didn't have it that long. So anyhow, that's where we are with this. Now, I did watch, there is a guy named John, Jon, on the Bleepin' Cheap channel. He's from Pennsylvania, same as me, and he has a yellow Cherokee, but his is newer. I think his is a 99 or a 2000, 2001. It's the newer body style, newer interior, but his is yellow as well. He calls his the short bus. These are actually yellow on his. I think I actually like them black. So maybe when I repaint them, I mean, and it's easy enough to change that color. I mean, I can squirt them yellow, and if I don't like it yellow, I can just wipe them off and or respray them black. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's nothing that's, you know, you could do it with an aerosol can, or you could just wipe it down with lacquer thinner when it's all done. But so, and then when I do the doors, the rear doors, the thing, these will get the same tint on as the rear glass. You know, this 90 or this 5%. And then when I do the front doors, they'll get tinted as well, but they'll be like a 35 tint. So they won't be quite as dark. I don't want to be illegal. Pennsylvania's really funny about window tint. And I see guys get away with it, where they have it all the windows except the windshield. And I've even seen some guys in Pennsylvania with the windshield tinted this dark. The reason they don't like that is because when you get pulled over by law enforcement, they like to be able to see the guy inside the vehicle, whether he's got a gun on him. And usually the guys that are going to tint all their glass, there's a reason why they're tinting all their glass that dark, and it's not just to keep the sunlight out. So, and the other thing I'll talk about is the rear flares. So I have them, and this is gonna, if I do them, I will do the same thing I did on the front. I'll do the nutserts. I have the parts. I have the nutserts. I have the bolts. I would do them the same way I did the front, and the reason I put the nutserts in instead of the typical mounting hardware on this is because I don't like those flares. I need them for inspection. I don't need them for inspection back here. If you look, they are not sticking out past the body. I mean, it may be really close. Those little tits that are still on the tires may be sticking out, but that's not a big deal in Pennsylvania, and they're not going to cry. Most inspection stations aren't going to cry about this. They would cry about the front ones, though, because the front ones do stick out. And I think at some point, I am going to do a spacer kit on this. Just to widen it up a little bit for a little more stability. And it looks, you know, more badass. Pardon my French. Why do we always blame that on the French? It's not their word. So, anyhow, I do want to do the flat flares. So this will be getting the same mounting hardware as I did on the front, if I put the flares on the back. And the only reason I would do that once I get this whole thing yellow is I think it's going to look better, even though I don't like those style flares. I think overall it would look better if they all had the same flare on it. And those holes do kind of look a little like half done. And as I've said many, many times before, I am not going to cut this. I may go to 33s at some point on this, which would require a little bit more lift, but no immediate plans for the 33s. So anyhow, that's where we are today. Wow, that went way longer than I thought it was going to. So that's where we are. I apologize for not finishing all that up on the last video. I don't know what happened. Like I said, the only thing I can figure is I forgot to hit the start button. I just picked the thing up and started talking to it, and I was recording nothing. So, yeah, there you go. That's where we are right now. That's the only reason I came over to the shop today. I'm not actually going to do anything on it today. Today's Sunday. Not that I don't mind working on Sunday. I do. If you didn't know, Blue Mountain Academy is a Seventh-day Adventist school. We worship on the seventh day, which is Saturday, the Sabbath. And so, yeah, I don't have a problem working on Sundays. I just not feeling it today. I just wanted to finish up what I missed on the last one and go over the rest of the plans for this, the rest of the immediate plans. The only final upgrades, the only remaining upgrades that I have that I want to do to this, I want to put a locker at least in the rear and possibly in the front. And then I'm giving some serious consideration, because I'm going to be towing with this, I'm giving some serious consideration to frame stiffeners front to back. And they're relatively inexpensive. So they're a pain in the butt to put on, and it's a lot of extra weight. This thing is not getting any kind of fuel economy. Oh, I got a question. And if any of you guys know, I have a timing light. As a matter of fact, I have a really good timing light. This is electronic ignition, but I'm just wondering, I mean, this thing starts really easy. So, well, first things first. All right. This is my timing light. Sun Pro. I got it years ago from Western Auto on my Sears card. I don't even remember. I think it was like around $200-300. It's got the built-in dwell in the back. It is very bright, and it's modular. I was trying to sell this thing for the longest time. I still even have the instructions. Do you think my fuel economy issue could be related to the timing being off? I just need to look them up and throw the light on and see what it's supposed to be. But just to show you that one of the reasons why I don't think it's the timing is this. Neutral, and my neutral safety switch doesn't work, so. But listen to how easy this starts. I mean, it's usually fires right up. It's like it runs. Throttle response is really good. So I don't know. I mean, it's not gonna take anything to check it. So I have I have a friend of mine that's coming in Monday morning. We're gonna look at his Jeep. He has a ZJ. It's a 99 Grand Cherokee, and we're gonna be looking into the heater core on that. He's wondering where he should take it. I know the heater cores on these Cherokees, and I'm assuming the Grand Cherokees are the same, are a royal pain in the butt. It's like an all-day project, but I don't want to see him shelling out hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I mean, he can't afford it, and if I can help him, I'm going to do it. So any advice on a ZJ heater core replacement? I'm hoping it's the connections at the top where the heater core goes through. It's just the hoses. He says it's going through quite a bit of coolant, and it's whatever's happening is getting to the inside. When he's on long trips, he has to clean the inside of the windscreen as he's, the windshield as he's on his trip, because it fogs up. So I'm not encouraged by that, but at the same time, you never know. You might get lucky, and it'll only be the hoses are bad where it goes into the firewall. So that's what I'm hoping for. Uh, we'll see. So gonna be doing some research on YouTube for 99 ZJ heater core replacement, and we'll see from there. But anyhow, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for watching my videos. Um, if you're new to the channel, you like what you see, I mean, there's going to be more. At some point, I will get to the point where I can set up a camera and time lapse, the type, what I'm doing. Um, I'm just not there yet, so I'm stuck with my phone for recording, and that's where we are right now. So anyhow, again, like, subscribe, share. If you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to ask me in the comments. Any comments, don't worry about it. I got a thick skin. I can take it. If I don't like your question, I'll answer it anyhow. Um, it's not that big a deal. It's just social media. It's not going to make it or break it for me. I'm not making any money off of this. I don't have any sponsors. I've got 43 viewers. I'd like to have more. 43 subscribers. Got a lot more views than that. So if you're watching it, like it or dislike it, I need the feedback. So there you go. This is crazy times we're living in. Take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and God bless.